So in the last session, we have discussed about how to create our own custom applications. And while creating the custom applications, how can we use our own customized image as the logo, and how to use those logo, and what are the limitations of those custom applications in the different editions we have discussed. In today's session, we are going to discuss about how to create a custom object in Salesforce. Already you are aware of that. Creating an object means creating a table in Salesforce, because Salesforce is purely supporting the ORM technology, object relationship and the mapping, where no need to interact with the database directly, no need to log in into the database directly, no need to have any database programming knowledge, no need to use any database programmings like as SQL and the PLSQL and the different statements offered by the database programming to create the tables, to create the columns. No need to aware of all those statements. Just by using some mouse clicks, just by using the declarative functionality given by the Salesforce, we can create an object. As soon as whenever you are creating an object with the same details, it is creating a table for you internally in the backend. Now, in the yesterday's session, we have discussed how to create a custom object. For that, we have discussed about the navigation. Now we'll see the practical implementation, how to create a custom object. If I'm creating a custom object, what kind of resources given by the Salesforce to us? Like for every application, we need some 3 layers, like as the graphical user interfaces, we need a business logic layer, and we need a database layer also, nothing but a database objects. Now, so what kind of layers given by the Salesforce to you upon creating a new custom object? Now we will see practically here. So now basically, upon creating a custom object, we have 2 ways are there. One is a standard navigation, and the second one is a schema builder. Schema means what? Structure, nothing but object. Now object structure we can define, nothing but the structure of a table we can define without writing any code, without using any the programming languages. We can able to design just by using some graphical user interfaces, by using some drag and drop click options. So now in today's session, we'll see how can we create a custom object by using this navigation process. In the yesterday's session, we have discussed about this navigation process. How can we create a custom object? So now let's go through this navigation process to create our own custom object in Salesforce. Now, let's say I want to create a custom object with the name customer. I want to give the name of that object as customer. Now, how to create this custom object? Now we'll see practically here with that standard navigation. Let's go to your Salesforce instance, which we have created. Now this is my Salesforce instance. Once you go to that Salesforce instance, in order to create your own custom objects, go to the setup menu in the left top right corner. Now click on that setup menu. It is providing that setup options to you in the left panel. These are the various configurable options are available in Salesforce. Now go to that build, because I want to develop something new. What is that? An object. Now, do you want to write any code? No. I want to create something new without writing any programming, without using any code. So that go to the build menu. I want to build something new where I want to create something. Okay, I want to create something new feature. I would like to add this new feature to my Salesforce instance where I don't want to use any programming language. So that go to that create option and expand it. And I want to create that object. Previously, we have discussed about that apps option inside that create. But now I want to use objects because I want to create a new custom object in Salesforce. Now click on objects. So now it is giving some information to you. Custom objects are database tables that allows you to store some data specific to your organization in Salesforce. So nothing but these are also nothing but the tables in our Salesforce, which we can able to create just by using some graphical user interfaces. And you can use the custom objects to extend Salesforce functionality or to build some new application functionality. Nothing but whenever you are developing some ready-made if you want to develop something new, nothing but if you want to customize the existing Salesforce CRM application, or if you want to build something new application by your own, okay, which are completely different from the CRM, then we need to create our own tables also. To create those tables, we are using the objects. Once you create an object in Salesforce, automatically Salesforce will create a table for you. In the previous session, we have discussed about that the navigation process also. Now, let's go to that new custom object in Salesforce. Click on this new custom object button. Now, it is providing a graphical user interface to you. Now, this is the graphical user interface where we need to provide some details about this particular object in order to get created. Now, these are the various sections are available where we need to enter some data inside that. Now label. So now give the label of that object here. Nothing but what is the name with which you want to create a table. So now here you will be having two options are there. One is the singular label, second one is a plural label. So what is the singular label? What is this plural label? What is the difference here? Have you observed anywhere? In our previous sessions, we have discussed about a table. In that, we have discussed about the object and the tab names and the table names. Table name should be always a singular and the tab names are always a plural. Now, is it audible to everybody?
Yeah, now it is fine.
Okay. Now, so already we have discussed that when coming to the every object, Salesforce is providing a tab to you. Now the tab names are looking like as accounts, contacts, opportunities, cases, solutions, leads, campaigns, like that. Nothing but this is a plural name always. All the tab names are plural name and the object names are singular names. Now here also, whenever you are creating an object, Salesforce will generate a table for you. If you want to manage the records inside the table, then do you want me to provide the graphical user interface? If yes, then I'm ready to provide a tab to you. If it is a tab, then what is the name for that tab? Nothing but we have to provide that plural label also. So that provide that singular label which is going to be considering to create an object. Plural label will be considered for the tab for you. Now, after that, it will be giving the name for that object also automatically. Okay, this is internally created by itself. So now when coming to the label, I'm giving the name as customer. For that tab, I want to give the name as customers. Okay, object name is customer and the plural name I'm giving like as customers. If you want to give any description, then give the description for that object also. So what is the purpose that we have created this object here? I want to give some description. This object is used to store all our customer details. Okay. Providing the description is not a mandatory, but always as a real-time implementation, it is a best practice that always we have to provide some description and the comment for every functionality which we have implemented, so that we can understand in future what is the purpose to define this object. So now once you have specified the description, then go to the optional features. Go to the optional features section. Inside that you will be having 4 checkboxes are there. Already we have discussed in yesterday's session. If you want to generate any reports based on the data available inside this object in future, then we have to make it enable that I would like to generate some reports. So that we have to select the checkbox allow reports. Whenever you are selecting the checkbox allow reports, then only if you have created some records inside the table, after creating the records, if you want to generate any reports on that data, then we can able to generate, or else it won't allow you to generate the reports. And then allow activities. If you want to add any activities on that, like as some task or as events, then at that time we have to make it enable on your object. If you want to track any fields history, nothing but if you are having some fields are there in that field, some value we have assigned some time back, but recently somebody has modified that field value. If you want to track those fields history, if you want to know who has modified that field value, when they have modified, what time they have modified, what is the old value, what is the new value, everything we can able to track with the help of field tracking history. And then if you want to make these changes to be get allowed in the charter groups, then we can select that allow in charter. And then these are the 4 optional features we have to select, which are playing very key role when coming to the objects. And then you will be having deployment steps. Yeah.
Firoz,
Yeah.
there is a question, So these optional features, only when we are creating the object, we can provide, we can set these, or say like, I created an object, can I come back later and modify these?
Sure. At any point of time. Okay. Not only now, in future, okay. Once you have created an object, if you're using since long time, if you want to make it enable at the later stages also, we can do that. The possibility is there.
Okay. All right. Okay, thank you.
So now after specifying that, the optional features, we can specify the deployment status. So what is the deployment status of your object? So already we have discussed, if you want to make this object to be get ready to use to everybody, so that those people can able to access inside your organization to create some records, then make that status, deployment status as deployed. Deployed means this object is ready to use. Nothing but we have created the object, everything is ready so that we can start using this object to create some records inside this. In development means this object is not in completion status. This is still in implementation status. We need to create some more fields inside that so that you cannot able to access this object to create some records inside that. Nothing but this object is not ready to use. And then you will be having 2 more checkboxes in the last. Okay, these are very, very important people. So now if you want to add the notes and attachments related list to the each and every page, each and every record, then we can able to select the checkbox, add the notes and attachments, so that for each and every record, we can able to add some attachments also here. And then, so now this checkbox is very, very important. The last checkbox is very, very important, which is playing a very key role inside this. So now whenever you are selecting this last checkbox, launch a new custom tab wizard after saving my custom object. So now if you are selecting this checkbox, then only Salesforce will provide a tab to you. If you are not selecting this checkbox, then Salesforce will not provide any tab to you. There is no graphical user interface. To manage the records, we have to use programming or we have to use some other third-party alternative ways. So now for that, if you want a graphical user interface to be used to create some records inside that, to modify, to see the existing records, to delete the existing records, to restore the deleted record, then we need some graphical user interface, because the normal end users or the partner or the customers, those people are not aware of the programming, so that they need to perform all the operations by using some mouse clicks. So that we have to provide a user-friendly interface. So for that, we need to select this checkbox so that it will be giving a graphical user interface to you by default without designing by our own. So now I'm selecting this last checkbox, launch a new custom tab wizard after saving this custom object. Now, so now observe this one here. If you forgot to select this checkbox, then what will happen? After creating my object, okay, the later stages, I want to design a user interface. Then what we can do? How to create a tab at later stages, we'll see practically also in today's session. Now, so now once you select all these options, then click on Save button. So now Salesforce is going to be creating a object for you now. So now while creating that object, we have selected that last checkbox called as launch a new custom tab wizard for your custom object. Nothing but here I want a tab along with this object so that I can able to use that tab in order to manage the records inside my object. So now if you want a tab, then what is the tab style that you want for your object? So now for your tab, what is the style that you want? Now it is giving that option here. This is the customer object for which you are going to be creating right now, and what is the tab style that you want. By default, Salesforce is giving a tab style to you. This is a blue color tab style is there. If you don't want this tab style, if you want to select your own, then click on a lookup icon. You will be having a lookup icon is available. Click on this lookup icon. Now it is providing the different styles to you. So now these are the various styles are available given by the Salesforce to you. So now from this one, select whatever the style that you want. In each and every style, you will be having an image, you will be having a color, image, a color, image, a color. Depends upon your need, we can able to select any of your style, whatever you want to apply for your tab. So now I'm defining an object with the name customer. Customer means what? A person. Okay. So now I want a person symbol, nothing but a human being symbol. So now here, do we have any such kind of tabs or styles are available here? So now here you will be having two styles are there. One is the people. Now this is the people. Now which is having some human being symbol. And along with that, we are having one more presenter. Presenter is also one of these. It is also having that the people symbol is available. Like that here, they have given the multiple tab styles to you. From this one, select any of the tab style. Now, select this particular icon, nothing but I would like to use that people style to my object. Now select that tab style and then click on next button. So now I want to make this tab to be get visible to all the people by default. So that here, no need to select anything by default, the tab is on. Okay, this will be giving the default on for each and every profile users. So now click on next button. And then this tab has to be get visible in each and every application in Salesforce. If you want to make this tab to be get visible in only few applications, then we can able to select those applications, and the remaining checkboxes we can able to unselect that. Here all the applications names has been populated to you. Here the checkboxes are available. In which application you want to make this tab to be get visible, we can able to select that associated checkbox, and the remaining we can able to unselect that. Depends upon our need. So now I want to make this tab to be get visible in all the applications available in my Salesforce instance. So that I'm selecting all these checkboxes and click on Save button. So now as soon as when you click on Save button, your object has been created. So what is your custom object with the name customer? Okay, this is the custom object has been created by the Salesforce team. So now as soon as whenever you are creating a new custom object, then Salesforce is providing a table for me. Then what is the table name here? So now when you come to the object information, you will be having that object's API name. So now this object API name is going to be describing this is the name of the table which has been created by the Salesforce team. So now it is giving the name as customer underscore underscore C. So what is this underscore underscore C? Underscore underscore C is indicating this is a custom, nothing but user defined. It's not the standard, it's a user defined. So now for each and every custom object, the API name will be getting post fixed with underscore underscore C. So now with this name, it has created the table. With this name, it is creating an object for you internally by default. So now this is the way we are going to be creating a custom object here. Now let's make a note of it. And the observations. Once the object has been created, Salesforce will allocate the object's API name will be post fixed with underscore underscore C, which represents this is a custom. Underscore underscore C means custom. Suppose if I'm creating the object here, if I'm creating an object with the name customer, then the object's name is object API name is customer underscore underscore C. If you're creating an object with the name some project, then your object API name is project __ C. And then if I'm creating the object with the name some position, then object's API name is position __ C. Nothing but each and every custom object's API name will be getting postfixed with __ C. Okay. Now, each object's API name is postfixed with __ C. Now, the second one. Salesforce creates a table. Salesforce creates a table with the object's API name. So now for our account object, for our customer object, the table name is customer __ C. And then for the position object, our table name is position __ C. So now whenever you are going to be creating a new object, then Salesforce is creating a table. So now the table's API name is also the object's API name. So nothing but the table name. It has some object name, some table name. Suppose if you are creating an object with the name some customer, then the table name is customer __ C. If the object name is some position, and the table name is position __ C. So now for each and every object, Salesforce is creating a table for you where the object's API name and the table name both are exactly same. Now our table is nothing but whatever the customer records you are going to create, all those customer records will be storing inside a table called as customer __ C. Now, so that is all customer records will get resides in a table customer __ C. This is our table name, which is given by the Salesforce to you. This is the internal notations. And the next one. Salesforce provides a tab with the name customers to manage the records inside the customer table. In order to manage the records inside that customer table, Salesforce is providing a tab to you which is having the name called as customer's name. So now let's verify here. So when you go to that object, so now this is the object name that we have given customer. This is a singular label. It is creating a table with the name customer __ C. So now wherever you are going to be referencing this table, then always you have to use the name as customer __ C. Don't use customer. The name is customer __ C. Because with this name, it will be creating the table for you internally in the backend. Now, so now when you go to that tab bar, along with your previous tabs, you will be having one more tab is available, customers. Nothing but a tab has been created for you. Okay, a tab has been created for you. When you click on that tab, it is providing the graphical user interfaces to manage those records also inside that customer table. Now, so now as soon as whenever you are creating a new object, Salesforce is giving a table for you. Now, for that object, will Salesforce will allocate any ID? Yes. Now, what is that ID allocated by the Salesforce to you here? So now for each and every custom object also, Salesforce is going to be allocating some ID here. Let's see. So now we are creating the object customer. The tab name is customers. The table name customer __ C. And if I'm creating an object called as some position, and then I'm giving the tab name as positions, and the table name is position __ C. For each and every object, it may be standard, it may be custom, Salesforce is going to be allocating one object ID. So now for my position customer object, what is the ID has been allocated by the Salesforce to us. When you go to that URL, In that URL, you will be having that the address where you will be having that custom object available. Now this is the URL is available here. So now, as soon as when you go to that URL, you will be having the first three characters 01I. Okay, 01I. This is indicating this is the ID of that object here. So now this is the schema ID given by the Salesforce to you. Or else, if you want to see that schema ID, then we can able to click on Customers tab also. When you open that Customers tab in a separated tab, now it will be giving that here. So now this is A00. So for this object, it will be giving that ID as A00. So now this is the A00. This is the ID has been allocated by the Salesforce tool for this particular object here. Now this is the A00 is the ID for that object. Now,
1 minute, Feroz. What is that 01I?
so now this is that the tab. Okay, is the object here. Now this is a graphical user interface given by the Salesforce. For that, it is giving this information to you. Currently logged in the information.
I am not getting clear, Feroz. With this 01I and that another A00, what you said?
So now when you
These
click on
two-
this particular tabs, okay, when you click on this tab, it is going to providing that object ID to you. Like as when you click on solutions, it is giving that object ID as 501. When you click on
Okay.
opportunities, it is giving 006. Like the same way, when you click on customers, it is going to be giving that ID as A00. So now for each and every user interface inside that Salesforce, it is going to be maintaining with the help of that ID, nothing but a 18 characters ID. So now this is a graphical user interface which is using to display that information of that customer object. So now for that user interface, it is going to be maintaining that ID here. It is a 01I. Now it will be giving that question mark, nothing but which is indicating this is the user interface. Please display the information of that custom object. Okay, is the user interface reference.
So when you create records for customers, then it will start with A00?
Yes, A00. I will show you practically now to you.
Okay,
Now,
thanks.
so now as soon as whenever I'm creating an object, Salesforce is providing a table also to you. So now upon creating a table, then what are the columns it will provide by default? Will it make the table as empty or will it provide some columns by default in Salesforce? Now the fourth observation. Upon creating a custom object, Salesforce provides 4 fields by default. 4 fields by default. Nothing but fields means columns. By default, Salesforce is providing 4 columns to you by default. For each and every custom object, you may create n number of objects also. Then for every object, Salesforce is providing 4 columns to you by default. Now, these are called as standard fields given by Salesforce. Okay, we will come to that point in the next. After creating these objects functionality, we will come to that fields concept here. During that, we will see what exactly the field, what are the types of fields are there, and what is the standard field, what is the custom field. We'll see practically over there. Now, so now as soon as whenever you are creating a custom object, by default, Salesforce is providing 4 fields. Field means what? A column inside the table. So now what are those columns given by the Salesforce team? So now Salesforce is giving the 4 columns to you. One is the name column. Second one is the owner column. Third one is created by. And the fourth one is last modified by. So these are the 4 fields will be given by the Salesforce by default. So now, upon creating a new custom object, Salesforce will provide 4 standard fields by default. Those are called as name column, nothing but the name field, owner field, created by field, and the last modified by field. These are the 4 fields will be given by the Salesforce team. Then where we can see this fields information. Now, let's come to that object. So now when you go to that object's information, now this is my custom object which we have created with the name customer. When you come a little bit down, you will be having 4 fields are available. It is giving that standard fields section. Inside that standard fields section, it is giving the 4 fields to you: name field, owner field, created by field, last modified by field. So now these are the 4 fields will be given by the Salesforce to you by default here. For every custom object, it will be giving these 4 fields to you by default. Okay. So now here, whenever you are creating a new custom object, Salesforce is providing the multiple things. One is what? It is providing a table, nothing but a backend business logic database is available. It is providing a graphical user interface, nothing but a table, nothing but the tab. And then when you click on some buttons on that tabs, it is providing that the business logic also. Nothing but whatever the 3 layers are required, all those 3 layers are given by the Salesforce video as soon as when you click on that object. Now let's see. So now,
Hey, Firoz,
yeah.
So ID is not a field that is provided by default?
So that is also a ready-made field given by the Salesforce. It's a common for everything. It's common for everything, every object.
You mean ID?
Yeah, that's what. ID is a common field for every object. It's a common field.
Oh, okay, but it's not listing here though, right? Like
because that ID value will be generating by the Salesforce by default, but for these 4 fields, we can able to enter those values here. ID field value we cannot change. That will be generated by the Salesforce. It is a system generated.
Okay, but I thought like created by also is it system?
Yeah,
it's not a system field.
But when come to these 4 fields will be getting visible to you on the record. But that ID field cannot be visible to you on the record here. Okay, it will not be visible because of the security purpose.
Okay.
So now I have created a table now with the name customer__C. Now I want to store some records inside that. In order to store some records inside that particular table, then directly you can use your tab also. For your customer object, it is providing a tab called as customers tab. So directly you can go to that customers tab, click on that. When you click on customers tab, it is providing the tab with the selected style. While creating this object, we have selected the tab style with that people. Now there you will be having that symbol called as the person's symbol, people symbol is available, and the color is available with this orange color. So now here it is providing that graphical user interface to you. So nothing but no need to design any graphical user interface in order to manage the records inside the table. Many graphical user interfaces will be given by the Salesforce to you along with that object as part of tab. So now this is the tab has been given by the Salesforce to you by which we can able to manage the records inside that table. Then how can we create that record here? Will it provide any user interfaces to me? Yes. Then how to create? Then click on new button. As soon as when you click on new button, it is providing a graphical user interface to you in order to create a new customer record inside that. So now the graphical user interfaces are available. So now database table is also available to you. And then what about the business logic here? So now business logic means what? In order to save the record, in order to modify the record, in order to delete the record, in order to view the records, we need some business logics are required. So that here it is providing the business logics to you. Save button, save and new, cancel operation, edit operation, delete operation. We can able to restore, we can able to see all these business logics are available to you by default upon creating the single object itself. Nothing but as soon as whenever I'm creating a new custom object, Salesforce is giving the 3 layers of that application. That is the graphical user interfaces, nothing but the tab. It is providing the business logic and it is providing the table also to you by default. All these 3 layers of that application will be ready-made available to you. Now, so now I want to create a customer record. I'm giving the customer name like as some Ramesh Kumar. So now I would like to store a new customer record. Now will it store my record or not? I want to cross check that. So now as soon as when you click on save button, your record will be getting saved automatically and it will be moving you to the detail page of your record. So now when you click on save, your record has been created successfully. So now this is the customer record which you have created with the name some Ramesh Kumar. So now when you go to the details of your record, you will be having customer details. This is the name of your customer record. This is the owner who has created that record. Owner means the currently logged in user. Always the currently logged in user will be the owner of the record who has created it. And then created by. Who has created this record right now here? This is the person who has created. This is the last modified by, nothing but who has modified this record at the last. Nothing but previously, recently, who did that modification inside my record, so that we can able to track those information. When they have modified this information, everything will be getting tracked in Salesforce by default. So now these are the 4 fields will be given by the Salesforce by default upon creating a new custom object here. Okay, clear? How to create a custom object? If you want to modify that, then click on edit button. We can able to modify this record. I'm adding some Ramesh Kumar, some K. I'm adding his surname also here. Ramesh Kumar, some K. We can able to save it back. We have modified that record. Previously, it is simply Ramesh Kumar. Now I'm adding that K also, which is his surname here. If you want to remove this record, then we can able to click on delete button. Click on delete button. It will be asking for your confirmation. Do you want to delete this record? Yes, I want to delete that. So now you can able to delete that record. The records has been removed here. Now there is no records available as of now. You can go to the recycle bin by expanding that, the setup, by expanding that the sidebar. Click on that recycle bin. You will be having the recycle bin option is available. Click on that recycle bin. You will be having the deleted records available inside the recycle bin for the 15 days. So now this is the record which we have deleted recently, nothing but just now. Who deleted that record? This is the person who has deleted that record. On this particular date, on this particular time, this person has removed this record here. So now we can able to track which person has removed these records. If you want to remove this record permanently from the Salesforce, select this checkbox and then click on empty your recycle bin. Then automatically all the records will be getting removed from your empty your recycle bin. Or if you want to restore this record back to the object, then we can able to click on undelete. When you click on undelete, it is going to be moving your record back to the actual object. When you go to that customers, your record will be available to you here right now. Now the customer name is Ramesh Kumar K. Nothing but we can able to remove, we can able to restore those records also. So nothing but once you create an object, then all the 3 layers of your application will be given by the Salesforce to you. But it will be giving only that basic fields to you, like as the name field and the owner field, created by and the last modified by. So now these are the 4 standard fields given by the Salesforce to you by default upon creating a new custom object. If you want to add few more columns, then we can able to create our own custom fields also. Okay. Then how to create those custom fields, we'll see in the next sessions. Now, so now let's see here. When coming to the object, are you clear everybody how to create a custom object and what will happen if I'm creating a custom object? Okay, now let's see here. Upon creating a custom object, it is providing these 4 features to you. So now for that object API name, it is going to post affixing with __c, okay, which is indicating this is a custom. Now, so now if it is a custom, then what is the difference between a standard object and a custom object here? What is the options are available to you? When you go to the standard objects, okay, you don't have any option to remove. Okay, now let's see here. Now let's see. We are having standard objects. We are having custom objects. So what exactly the difference between this standard objects and the custom objects? Now we'll see. Let me design a table now. So now we are having standard objects, custom objects. So now what exactly the standard object? What exactly the custom object here? Standard object means these are the ready-made objects given by Salesforce by default which has been developed upon designing the Salesforce CRM application. These are the various objects given by the Salesforce to you, which has been created upon designing that Salesforce CRM application. In order to store that particular customer's data, they have created these ready-made objects to you, which have been provided to you because you are also one of the members to access that Salesforce CRM application, so that you need to have the access on those objects also. Now, the custom objects here. Custom objects will be created by the Salesforce developer or the Salesforce administrator to extend the Salesforce functionality or to build our own custom applications. Upon creating your own custom applications, if you need to store some different set of data which are not like as your standard object, then we can create your own tables also, custom sets of tables also we can create. So now that possibility will be available here. Now, what are the standard objects are available? Like for example, you're having that standard objects like account, contact, opportunity, case, solution, product, price book, etc. So when coming to the custom objects, for example, we are creating our customer, position, candidate, merchandise, and the project, client, prospect, etc. You can able to create your own custom objects also. And then when coming to the standard objects, the third option, the third feature is, the third difference is standard object names are looks like as the normal names. Normal names means like as the account, contact, opportunity, etc. But the custom object names should be post-fixed with __c. Custom object name should be post-fixed with __c. And then the standard objects. When coming to the standard objects, we cannot remove the standard objects from Salesforce, as it may cause CRM functionality will get impacted. We cannot remove the standard objects from Salesforce. Whatever the standard objects are available, just we can able to customize. But we can customize the standard objects based on the name. We can able to customize that. But when coming to the custom objects here, we can remove the custom objects in future when it is no longer needed. Nothing but here, whatever the custom objects are available, we can able to customize this custom object in future, or if this custom object is not at all required for you in future, we can able to remove the custom object also from your Salesforce instance. because you are the owner, so that we can able to remove all those custom objects which you have created in the future. And then when coming to the custom objects, you're having the limitation. We can create maximum of 400 custom objects in free developer edition and maximum of 2000 custom objects in unlimited edition. Okay, so now in unlimited edition we can able to create a maximum of 2000 custom objects. So now these are the various few differences are available between a standard object and a custom object. So now when coming to the interview point of view, these differences are very, very important. What exactly the standard objects, what exactly the custom objects. Standard objects are nothing but the ready-made objects given by the Salesforce as part of Salesforce CRM application. And the custom objects means not only using the Salesforce CRM application, we are having the flexibility to customize, and then we can able to leverage the functionality by adding some more new features, or we can build completely by our own new applications also. At that time, we need to create our own custom sets of tables so that we are going to be creating the custom objects. So now whatever the standard objects given by the Salesforce, these standard objects we cannot remove in Salesforce, because if I'm removing that, the standard Salesforce CRM functionality will be getting affected, so that we cannot remove that. But whatever the custom objects that you have created in future, if it is not required for you, we can able to remove that custom object also from your Salesforce instance. And each and every custom object name will be getting post fixed with __C, which is indicating this is purely a custom object. But whenever you are creating the custom objects, we are having some limitation that already we have discussed, that we can create maximum of 400 custom objects in free developer edition, and we can have maximum of 2000 custom objects in unlimited edition. These are the limitations and the differences are available between the standard object and a custom object. Now, let's see. So now when coming to the objects we have discussed here, how to create an object and how can we create the records inside those objects, and nothing but the tables we have discussed now. So now let's come to this one more feature. Suppose for example, I'm creating a custom object where I have forgot about to select that last checkbox, launch a new custom tab wizard after creating a custom object. Then what will happen? Will it create my table or not? If it is creates a table, then what is the name? If it is creating the table, then what columns it will provide to me? And then what features will not be available if I'm not selecting the checkbox? Now we will see practically here. Now, so now I want to create a new custom object here. I'm taking a use case. Create a custom object, position to store all the open positions information exist in the organization. Whatever the open positions are available inside my organization, I would like to create that. I would like to store those positions information inside my position object. And then I want to create a tab also. Create a tab wizard to manage the records. Create a tab wizard to manage the records. Now, so now upon creating that particular custom object, we have discussed about the two checkboxes. One is adding the notes and attachments related list, and the second one is we are having a checkbox called as launch a new custom tab wizard after creating the custom object. So now if I'm selecting this last checkbox, then only your tab will be getting created for you. If you did not select this particular checkbox, the tab will not be provided for you. You have to create the tab manually again. Now let's see the practical implementation now. So now let's go to that object creation. I would like to create one more object now with the name position. Let's go to that build menu, click on that create, click on objects. I'm creating a new custom object. As of now, we have created one custom object that is with the name customer, which is having edit button, delete button. Both are available to you here. So now we can able to remove this custom object also from your Salesforce instance if it is not required for you in future. Now, so now click on new custom object because I want to create a new custom object right now. In order to create a custom object, we need to provide some details for that. I'm giving the name as some position. I'm giving the tab name as positions. I'm giving that object's a tab name as plural name as positions. Now give the description for that object. This object is used to hold all the open positions available in the organization. Available in the organization. In order to store all the open positions available inside my organization, I would like to use this position object here. So like for example, assume that I'm a project manager inside an organization. Now I'm having a team. Inside my team, I'm having some 10 Java developers are there. I'm managing a Java application. I'm the responsible person for the whole application responsibilities and the application development and the deliverables. I'm having 10 members are there in my team and who are working on some Java programming. Now from my team, 2 members got resigned because they got a very good opportunity in a different company. They would like to relocate to that particular location. So that they got resigned. Then what we can do? So can I manage my team with the 8 members? No. Whatever the 2 members has been resigned, those 2 members place I want to replace with some new resources. Nothing but we have 2 open positions are available inside my organization, inside my team especially. So now who are having some experience on some Java development, Java programming. So now I need some 4 years experience of Java developers with the 2 resources. Nothing but I want 2 resources here. The number of open positions are 2 for this Java application development. So like that here, whatever the open positions are available inside my organization, I would like to place those information inside my position object. As soon as I have created a position record, then it is going to be notifying to the HR people that a new open position is available inside your organization. This is the position details. So please start recruiting the candidate for this position in order to close this as soon as possible. So that here we can able to implement the business processes also, so that this we can able to notify to the hiring managers or the recruiter people automatically. So now in order to store all those open positions information, I would like to use an object called as position object. Now as part of our object creation, we need to select these 4 checkboxes. I'm selecting that. Allow reports, allow activities, track field history, allow in charter groups. So now these 4 checkboxes I'm selecting now, and then the deployment status I'm making it as deployed. And then, so now for each and every record, I would like to add the notes and attachments here. Why? Because is every position will be having some description. So now based on the description, I'm going to be placing inside a documentation, nothing but a Word document, or it may be a PDF, and that I would like to attach along with the position record also. So that here I need a attachment related list so that I can able to add some attachments along with each and every record. And then I need a tab also. So now here in this case, now I'm not selecting this last checkbox here. If I'm not selecting this last checkbox, then what will happen? Now we'll see practically here. So now here observe this one carefully. I'm not selecting this last checkbox. Launch a new custom tab wizard after saving this custom object. If I'm not selecting this checkbox, then it will be creating the table for you. It is creating the 4 columns for you inside the table, like as name and the owner, created by, and the last modified by, but it won't provide any graphical user interface. Nothing but tab will not be provided to you. In this case, how can we create the tab? Okay, we'll see practically here. Now, so now I'm not selecting this last checkbox and I'm saving this object creation now. When you click on save, your object has been created for you here. Okay, your object has been created for you. So now my object has been created with the name position underscore underscore C. Okay, my object has been created with the name position underscore underscore C. So now already we have discussed when coming to the custom objects, for each and every custom object, Salesforce is providing that table name as post affixing with underscore underscore C. So now this is position underscore underscore C, customer underscore underscore C, and the client underscore underscore C, like that. Here for every object, Salesforce is giving a name which we have assigned. That name will be getting postfixed with underscore underscore C by default automatically for you. So now here all the custom object names will be postfixing with underscore underscore C. And the standard object names are available like as a normal names only, like as account, contact, opportunity. There is no underscore underscore C for this. Okay. So this is how we can able to differentiate those objects, whether it is a standard or whether it is a custom. If it is a custom, always that custom object's API name is postfixing with underscore underscore C, which is indicating underscore underscore C means this is a custom. This is a custom defined, user defined. Now, when you go to your tab bar, you don't have any tab available for your position object. So now here we have given that plural label name, but even though we haven't selected that last checkbox, because of that last checkbox, it is not creating any tab for you. So now it has created a table with the name position underscore underscore C, and then it is providing all the 4 standard fields by default, like the created by, last modified by, owner field, and the name field. All these 4 fields are available here by default, but it is not providing any tab to me. There is no tab is available here. Then how can we create the tab inside this Salesforce? Now we'll see practically here. Now let's see the navigation. So now make a note. Upon creating a new custom object, if the user did not select the checkbox, launch a new custom tab wizard after creating custom object. Then Salesforce will create the object and it will create the table. It will create the table with the API name, Salesforce will create the object, and the second option is, and it will create a table with the name, which is postfixing with underscore underscore C. And then it will provide 4 standard fields by default, like as the name, owner, created by, last modified by. And then we have observations are, it will not provide the tab for the object. Okay, it will not provide the tab for the object. Then how can we create the tab? Now we'll see practically here. Now you can raise a question also. We have created the object. This is a custom object, so that we can able to go to the edit button, and then we can able to select the checkbox. We can save it back so that it will be providing the tab to you. Now let's see. I will show you that option here. When you click on edit button for this position object, all the options will be available to you, okay, except that last checkbox. Nothing but the last section will not be visible to you. Nothing but there is no option to select that last checkbox again in the editable status. So now only that few options are editable, but all those options are not editable to you. Then how can we create the tab? Now we'll see practically here. So now for that, we are having that separate navigation process user. Let's see. Creating the custom tab. Now go to the setup menu. And go to the build menu in the left panel. And the second step is click on create and expand it. I want to create something new. What do you want to create right now? Now I want to create tabs. Now click on tabs link. Click on tabs link. Previously we have created create apps and then create objects. Now I'm using create the tabs. Now inside that create menu, you will be having the menu item called as tabs. Click on that tabs link so that we can able to create the tab here. Now go to the custom object tabs section. Click on new button to create a new tab. Select the object name from the pick list. In my case, I'm selecting position. Select the tab style from the lookup icon.
Firoz,
Yeah.
it's showing only you can only create a custom tab on a custom object.
Yes. It will be provided.
Okay,
Now, custom tabs will be applicable only for the custom objects, not for standard objects. And one more thing, I will be coming to that point. An object can have only one tab, not multiple. Okay. One-to-one association between the objects and tabs. Now.
Okay.
Now make the tab to be visible all profile users. And the 10th one, click on save button. Click on save button. So now this is a navigation process in order to create our own custom tabs. So now for your custom objects, we can able to create the tab where whenever you are going to be creating the tab, so that if the objects are not having any tab, then only we can able to create the tab. So now we cannot have multiple tabs for a single object. An object can have only one set of user interfaces, not the multiple sets of user interfaces. Now, make a note. An object can have only one tab. We cannot create multiple. Next. So now let's see here. Whenever you are trying to be creating the tab, then it is providing the 4 options to you. In Salesforce, we are having the 4 types of tabs are available here. So now, as soon as when you click on tabs, it is providing the 4 options to you. Tab types in Salesforce. So now in Salesforce, we are having the 4 types of tabs are available. The first one is custom object tabs, and the second one is the web tabs, and the third one is Visualforce page tabs, and the fourth one is Lightning page tabs. So these are the 4 types of tabs are available in our Salesforce. So now what exactly the custom object tabs here? When coming to the custom object tabs, in order to manage the records inside that custom objects, whatever the graphical user interfaces are required, those interfaces we can design with the help of custom object tabs. So now, as soon as whenever you are going to be selecting this custom object tab, then it will ask you to select the object, nothing but for which object do you want me to create the user interfaces. Based on that object structure, it is going to be creating that user interface to you. Now, sometimes what happened is when I click on a tab, it has to open my external application. Like I'm having a tab inside my Salesforce organization, like as Microsoft Outlook. When I click on the tab, automatically Microsoft Outlook has to be get open. Outlook means what? It is a separate external application. It is a separate website. It may be Google. It may be anything, whatever you want. If you want to open any external website, okay, when you click on a tab, then we have to use web tabs. So now, web tabs. These are used to redirect the user to an external application upon click on the tab. So for that we are using web tabs. And the third one, Visual Force page tabs. Visual Force means what? This is a web development framework offered by the Salesforce by which we can design our own customized user interfaces. We can design our own graphical user interfaces by using these Visual Force pages. So now, as soon as when I click on this particular tab, I don't want to open any object user interface. I want to open my own user interface, which I have designed by using this Visual Force page. So at that time, we have to go for Visual Force page tabs. Now these are used to redirect the user to open a Visual Force page upon click on the tab. As soon as when you click on the tab, automatically that associated Visual Force page will be getting open for you. Now, the Lightning page tab. These are used to redirect the user to the Lightning pages. Lightning pages, they are nothing but these are also the graphical user interfaces which can be designed by using the latest framework offered by the Salesforce, that is the Aura framework. So by using that Aura framework, we can be able to design that user interface which provides the rich look and feel. So now for that here we can able to use this rich look and feel user interfaces. We can able to redirect the user to that. So now these are the 4 types of tabs available in Salesforce. Now we are having the custom object tabs, web tabs, Visual Force page tabs, and the Lightning page tabs. These are the 4 types of tabs are available in Salesforce. We cannot create any tab for any standard object in Salesforce. There is no such option in Salesforce. Because for the standard object, Salesforce has given the tabs by default, so that no need to create the tabs for that. And then an object can have only one tab at a time, not the multiple. Now, so now let's see how can we create the tab for my object position. We have created the object with the name position, but it is providing all the features except that tab. There is no tab is available for my position object. Then how to create the tab for this custom object by using the navigation? Now we will see. So now go to that build menu in the left panel. Go to that create. I want to create tabs. Now click on tabs. So now here it is giving that graphical user interface to you. So now you can create new custom tabs to extend the Salesforce functionality or to build the new application functionality here. So now it is giving that information. Custom object tabs looks and behave like the standard tabs provided by the Salesforce. Web tabs allow you to embed external web applications and content within the Salesforce window. Nothing but we can able to navigate to an external application from when you click on this particular tab. So now Visual Force page tab allows you to embed the Visual Force pages. Nothing but in order to navigate the Visual Force page, we can able to use that Visual Force page tabs. Lightning component tabs allow you to add the Lightning components to navigation menu to the Salesforce one. Nothing but for the mobile applications, you can able to use this one. These are the 4 types of tabs are available. We are having the custom object tabs, web tabs, Visual Force page tabs, and the Lightning page 4 tabs are available. So now these are the 4 types of tabs are available when coming to the Salesforce now. So now I would like to create a tab for my custom object right now, which we have designed just now. So now for your custom objects here, what are the tabs that you have allocated, everything will be getting listed out over here. So now I would like to create a tab for my custom object that is position. So that go to that custom objects tabs, so section, and then click on new button. In order to create a tab for your custom object, then we have to use that new button. Now it is providing a graphical user interface to you where we can able to select that object for which you want to design the tab. So now here we can able to select that object here. It is giving that user interface control that is called as object. Nothing but for which object you want to design this user interface. So now when you expand this pick list, it is populating only those objects which have been created and which are not having any tabs. Because a object can have only one tab, not the multiple. So that here, if an object is available which is having the tab, then those object names will not be populated inside this pick list field. Only those objects which are not having the tabs, those object names will be getting populated. So now select that object for which you want to create the tab, and then select the tab style, whatever you want. Now click on that lookup icon to select the tab style. Click on that lookup icon. Select the tab style from the available styles. So now for this one, I would like to use any of the style here. So now, for example, now position is nothing but an opportunity for us, because so that here I would like to use like some books or whatever, any of the style, whatever you want, we can able to select that. So now I'm selecting a style called as some building. Okay, I'm selecting a style called as building. So this is the tab style that I'm going to be applying for my object here. Now go to the next button. Make this tab to be visible to all the profile users, and then go to the next button and make it save. So now I want to display this tab in each and every application here. So as of now, the tab is not yet added over here. So now I would like to add this tab to my tab bar also. As soon as when you click on save button, the Salesforce is providing a tab for your object, and then it is going to be adding the tab to you on the tab bar automatically. So now here, this is the new tab has been added, which we have created for our object, position object. So for each and every object, we can able to have a separate tab also here. By using this tab, we can able to get some graphical user interfaces with which we can able to manage the records available inside that object. It may be creating the new record, or modifying the existing records, or deleting the existing records, or restoring the deleted records, or to view the records. Everything we can able to perform all the operations with the help of these tabs. So now let me show you this option over here. Now, so now when coming to my object, yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Firoz, so these are the custom tabs, right? Like in the first case scenario where you have created the custom objects,
okay,
and you have checked that checkbox to have, to have the tab by default.
Okay.
So in that case, can't we like
So yeah,
now you can raise your question.
Yeah, tell me, Switisha.
Yeah, Firoz, so you said about the custom objects.
Okay.
And then there is a checkbox where you can click for the tabs.
Yeah.
So that the tab will come by default, right?
Yes.
And now there is one more case where you have the like objects created without the tab.
Okay.
And you said these options like web tabs, Visual Force tab, so you can redirect to that links.
Yes.
So the benefit of custom tab is like you can redirect to those links. Is it so, or it can be done in both ways?
It can be done in both ways also here. Like if you want to redirect the user to an external system, okay, if you're having any third-party application, if you're having any portal, then we can able to redirect the user instead of redirecting to the custom object.
Okay, in that also we can do it, and this also will allow us to
Yes,
do it,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Now, so now your
No,
tab has
excuse
been created.
Feroz, 1 minute.
Yeah.
Actually, the question was when we create the custom tab, when we create the custom object,
Okay.
at that time these options were not available. I mean, web tabs and Visual Force tabs were not available. That is what she meant.
Yes, yes, that's what here. So now if you want
Right.
to use your own graphical user interfaces to manage the records from an external side, then we can able to design. But at the time of creating the object, these options will not be visible to you.
Okay,
But
got it.
additionally, we have to design that user interfaces and we have to redirect the user to those user interface.
So that means in the first case, you have to come and edit it and get this done, customize it.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. So initially it will give just will not give these options like
Yes.
web and all that.
Yes.
Okay. Later you have to edit it and do it. Okay.
But Feroz, can you show me with the same thing with the customers tab? Can you go and show whether we can edit and make it as a web tab or something like that?
No, we cannot make it as a web tab. This will be custom object tab only to you. See, when you go to web
Okay.
tabs, we cannot make it as web tab, but we can able to design a graphical user interface externally, which we can able to expose as a public. And from there, the user can use those user interfaces to enter some data. The data will be coming down into our custom object like as customer. That possibility will be there so that we can able to redirect those things.
So I think her question is, so we cannot do that once we are done with that initially. I mean,
Yes.
at the time of creation itself, if we do that, we cannot make it as a web tab or a Visual Force tab
Yes.
in the later stage.
Yes, correct.
So Feroz, say like right now I'm starting like for this web tab, right, which is like a I think like in the old terminology we call it a iframe or something, right?
Yes.
A frame within an application, right? So I want to do it. So I can go and start creating a custom tab and say like I want to redirect it to Google. So I can I think I have to go through the whole process of creating a new. So the same process, right? Where I start doing a custom tab, go to the
No.
web
So
tab,
you will
and then like
having a different option is available. See.
exactly, like it'll have to go through the whole process, and then you have to provide a URL maybe later, like
Yes,
saying
yes.
where it has to take you. There.
Yes.
Exactly. Okay, I see that.
If you want to
Thank you.
create a web tab, then when you click on new button, to which URL you would like to redirect the user. So now you
Right,
want a
exactly.
full page width or the 2 column widths. At that time, what is that URL to which you want to redirect the user here? For that, we have to specify that the tab names and the URLs and everything. Then only we can able to redirect the URL to user over there.
Exactly. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Now, so now we have created that custom tab, which is our custom for our custom object position. When you click on positions tab, now it is providing that objects API name. So now this is providing that objects API as position __ C. For this object, Salesforce is allocating one unique identification number that is A01. So now previously for my custom object customer, it is providing A00, but the next object it is providing that ID as A01. So now this is the ID has been allocated as a schema ID for this object to us. So now like the standard object, we are having some IDs are available for every standard object like a 001, 003, 006 like that. For every custom object also, you will be having the unique identification number that is called as that schema ID or the object ID, which will be using in order to redirect from one tab to another tab or one object to another object and to identify whether this record is associated with which object. So now, by using this ID itself, we can able to understand to which object the record is associated. So because for each and every record, Salesforce is going to be generating the 18 characters ID. Already we have discussed about that. But in the URL, it is providing the first 15 characters of that ID. The last 3 characters are not displayed in the URL because of that security reasons. So now, when coming to that record, whenever if you want to create a new position record inside your position object, then click on new button to create a new position record. It is giving that basic initial screen where we can able to enter that position record name, because already we have discussed it is providing only 4 basic fields to you by default in every custom object, like as name and the owner, created by, and the last modified by. So now owner field will be getting filled up with the currently logged in user automatically. Created by person is also the currently logged in user who has created the record, and the last modified by will be modifying or updating with the recently modified person's details. Recently modified user details will be getting tracking inside that, so that we can cross check how many times the people has modified my record. Okay, what field values they have modified, when they have modified, what is that old value, what is the new value they have assigned, everything we can able to track inside that. Now, for that, we have discussed about a feature called as field history tracking. Now, so now I'm yeah.
What is the difference between the owner and the created by?
See, so now when coming to the record, for example, here, assume that. So now I'm a salesperson. Okay, I'm a salesperson. So now, as a salesperson, I'm working on some leads. Now those leads has been captured by my marketing people. Once the marketing people has conducted some campaigns to promote our organization products, then they are going to be identifying few people who showed interested in our product or services. Now those people's information they will collect, and they are going to be storing those recorded details inside my Salesforce instance. So now, as soon as whenever the marketing people has created the record, then at that time, that person will be the owner of the record. That person will be the created by person also. Now, as soon as the marketing people has captured the lead records, then who are going to be working on that? We are going to be working on this as a sales team. Now, the marketing people's job is just they have to conduct the campaigns and the different advertisements to promote the organization products or the services, and they have to capture the lead people information who showed interested in our product or services. Their job is done. Once that leads information has been captured, then they are going to be assigning those lead records to the sales team. Now, as a salesperson, I am the responsible person to contact those lead person and to give some information and to convince the people to buy my product. So now at that time, they are going to be assigning that lead record to you. Nothing but I am the owner now onwards. Nothing but created by whom? That marketing person. But the owner is whom? Now myself. So now as a salesperson, I am the owner of that. Created by will be the fixed value, and the owner will be keep on changing here. Suppose here I am into a particular role. Nothing but I am a salesperson here. I am working on this particular role here. So now they have assigned that record to me, so that I'm working on that. So suddenly I got an emergency call from my home, so which is very, very important for me, so that I'm going to my hometown here for some time. So that I cannot able to continue on the lead record, so that I'm assigning this lead record to one of my colleagues. Nothing but one more salesperson is there inside my team, so that I am going to be assigning to him. Nothing but we can able to transfer the ownership of the record from one user to another user, or from one user to another queue also. Okay. But the created by will be the fixed always. The person who has created that person's information will be getting stored inside that, and the owner will be keep on changing automatically. Depends upon your need. We can able to assign to a different queues, or we can assign to a different users also. Clear?
Okay. Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Firoz, like I can here, like they provide only 4 fields, right? Right now by default.
Yes.
So, but I'm not find any other like how to add some more fields, like.
Yes, we'll see in the next concept. In the tomorrow's concept, we'll see how can we create the custom fields in our Salesforce.
Okay.
Okay. The tomorrow's concept is adding the fields, nothing but adding the columns. How can we add the columns? What are the various types of columns are available in Salesforce? And what are the limitations to add the number of columns? And how to add those columns? And then How can we place those columns or fields on this user interface? How can we make this user interface to be customizable based on our convenience? We'll see practically everything. Okay. In tomorrow's session, we are going to discuss about how to add some new custom fields inside that. Now I'm creating a new position record right now. So now when coming to my organization, I'm having a Java developer position. So that here I'm creating a new open position record, which is with the name some Java developer. Not only creating the tabs, as soon as when you create the tab, Salesforce is providing the graphical user interfaces by which we can able to perform all the operations. You may create, you may modify, you may delete, you may restore, you may see everything, all the operations we can perform inside that. All these operations are available to you by default with the help of these tabs. Now, click on Save button in order to save your record. As soon as when you click on Save button, your record has been saved successfully with the position name called as Java developer, where you will be having that information. The position name is Java developer, and we can able to modify in future. We can delete that record. We can make a clone copy also. Now the owner will be the person here, the training Salesforce. The currently logged in user will be the owner, and then created by. When you place this mouse pointer on the created by, it will be giving a lag symbol to you. Nothing but we cannot change that. When you go to the owner, you will be having an option called as change option. Nothing but we can able to transfer the ownership of this record to some other people also. Okay, but created by record, created by person cannot, we can able to modify, because this is a locked field. This is a read-only field given by the Salesforce, which is using for the auditing purpose, so that we can track who has created that record, when they have created, at what time they have created, everything we can able to track inside that. Now, if you want to see this record, then click on that positions tab. We can able to see what are the position records we have created. If you want to create one more, then we can create one more record. I'm having some Salesforce administrator. I'm creating one more position record, Salesforce administrator. This Salesforce administrator record also has been created for you. We can able to see what are the position records that you have created, like a Salesforce administrator and the Java developer. Like that, we can able to create n number of records inside your object itself. So now this is the way we can able to create the object. We can get that graphical user interface, nothing but the tab. While creating that object, if you forgot to select that last checkbox, launch a new custom tab wizard after saving my custom object. At that time, how to create that custom tab, we have discussed this. And then how to manage the records also we have discussed as of now. So now in tomorrow's session, we are going to discuss about the fields. So what exactly the field, and what are the various types of fields are available in Salesforce? What is a standard field? What is a custom field? What is the difference between standard field and the custom field? Today we have discussed about the differences between standard objects and the custom objects. Now in tomorrow's session, we are going to discuss about the fields information. Field means a column inside the table. Object means a table, and the field means a column inside the table. Then how can we create the custom fields? How can we leverage the functionality of our Salesforce? And how can we add some more columns? What is the standard field? What is the custom field? What is the difference between these two? And how many custom fields we can able to create? And how can we customize the standard fields also? We'll see practically all this information in tomorrow's session. Okay. So now creating the fields is very, very important. So don't miss the tomorrow's session. Okay.
Feroz, just one question, okay? You can just tell me, like, if we are going to take this up later, but you remember you showed us how to do the query from the database, right?
Yes, yes.
Is it going to be different for these custom tables?
So now there also, it's not that different. The navigation is same, but except that the table name, like as account, simply we can specify customer __ C. See, let me show you here.
Oh, okay.
I have created 3 position records. If you want to get those position records, then we can able to make a query also.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you.
So now we can specify the position. Position object table name is position __ C. We can specify select ID comma name, nothing but the column names from the position, that is position __ C. we can able to list out all the position records which we have created. Because the table name
Okay.
always supposed to fix it with __c.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you. So in tomorrow's session, we are going to be discussing about that fields information and how to create those fields. What are the field types are available? We'll see one by one practically.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.